You are back on the Morning Bell. I'm Raj Arya, together with my special guest co-host for today, Ben Ibrahim, and our special guest, which we're talking about, who's going to share with us the
host,
insights.
Raj. We've got to make our guests feel welcome.
Exactly. World of Fashion. That's right. Ivan Poon, Vice President Operations of Maxim Fashion Malaysia Sdn Bhd, who actually, if you're more familiar with the brand, Leanne Maxima or Leanne. Ivan, thank you for being on the show today.
Good morning, Raj. Good morning, Ben. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure indeed. I'm a guest as well. So we are the guests here today.
We are
and
the guests.
he is.
I'm going to interrogate the both of you then.
Ganging up on you.
Yes, he is our gracious and hospitable host.
Oh, shucks. Fantastic. And now, just to start off,
yes.
Ivan, can you just tell us a bit about yourself? What were you doing before you entered the fashion industry? I think you have a very interesting story in store for all of us.
I do have, well, to some it will be interesting. Originally, I came from Hong Kong. I went to UK to study, and then I also went to Canada.
Right.
Canadian citizen by citizenship. I'm Canadian. So I was actually in chemicals for about 10 years.
Chemicals?
Yes. In industrial chemicals for 10 years. So as you can see, I am no longer in chemicals.
Far from it.
Exactly.
But I think the knack for, the interest in fashion was always there since young. And that interest, I think, has propelled me in a way to pursue something that I like rather than, I was a bit complacent during my chemical years, and then I was thinking, okay, I think I like this. I think deep down inside, I really wasn't really liking it. So the calling came, and then here I am.
Yeah, fantastic. I think we can relate to that on some levels
I'm
as
just
well.
ask you this question, my friend. Now, because a lot of our viewers out there, they're currently working in corporations,
Correct.
or their spouses or partners are working in corporations. And sometimes when they get a job opportunity, they say, I don't know anything about telecommunications because I've been trained in maybe fast-moving consumer goods.
Right.
But in your experience, what was, from a skill set point of view, what skill set were transferable from the chemical industry to the glamorous world of the fashion industry?
Well, if you have a business sense and of course the good old management sense, you can definitely relate. But there are things that are obviously very different, like fashion is very fast-paced.
That's true.
Super fast-paced.
Super fast-paced.
Yeah.
And maybe chemicals, I wouldn't say that it's stagnant, it's very competitive. But at the end of the day, you are talking about something that is very passionate. If you have a passion in it, in something, maybe your current career path is not the same as what your passion is. But if you can identify with that kind of a subject or that kind of a occupation, go for it.
Right.
I would say go for it. But there are similarities in terms of organizational skills, management skills and marketing. Right. You don't market it the same way.
Obviously.
You don't brand it the same way.
Yep.
You can use that experience and enhance on it and learn new things. I think learning is also something that's very important for all of us.
Right. Now, you talk about fashion industry. Can you tell us what are the trends now? I mean, on a more global scale, then regional, and then later we'll talk about Malaysia specific.
Well, on a global scale, you're talking about overall. In terms of colors, of course, you have the currently we're talking about the winter or the what we call fall holiday. Fall holiday tends to be a bit more, earthly, a bit wintry. And our brand basically has all of the key elements. And color blocking is still in at this moment. Some of the coral colors, some of the royal blues are still in, but it's a mix because it's very hard to say there's an overall trend because we're becoming very global.
Right.
And in Southeast Asia, you have the Korean, you have the European, you have some North American influences. Yeah. So it's not one singular trend. It's what suits you the best. So there are classic pieces that you can relate to. Certain people may want to experiment with different styles, different trends. So there's no one singular trend. And I think the marketplace generally it's going that way in terms of having technology around. People can actually buy online, for instance. So brands locally and also internationally have to look into that. Have that sense of the good old branding, the traditional way of branding. I don't mean that it just simply goes out of the window, but on the other hand, you may need to have some adjustments.
Well said.
Well, please continue, Raj. I'm still sort of taking all this in.
Soaking it all up.
I'm no fashionista. I'm a fashionista novice.
Right.
Still learning.
So we have to learn from someone like
learning
Ivan.
from the best.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
So speaking about, with regards to Malaysia, now obviously we have the various seasons where people can enjoy in the West because of the four seasons.
Right.
But in more tropical climate countries, obviously we are sunny all year round.
Right.
So how do we differentiate from them?
There are two ways of doing it, and we are doing it both ways. Number one is having the styles, having the designs, but using lighter fabric. That's just more common sense.
Of course,
comfort as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
right, to suit the climate. Because if you, even the way I wear it today, if I go out there and start walking around,
I was just about to say, my friend.
I'm going to be soaking.
Yes, yes, you
You're
are.
looking like you're about to walk down Piccadilly Circus in London and
Yes, jolly good,
yeah,
yes.
and jolly good, yes, but
Yes,
you go
definitely.
No. Outside go, alamak panas.
Correct. And the other way is, of course, we are becoming more global as well. Okay. So we do have fabrics that are a bit heavier, that are more suitable for traveling. So if you do go overseas to more Western or countries with winter, you can also procure and buy your selection of clothing from us as well. So the way that we do our business, or in terms of a Leanne Maxima business trend or the fashion direction, it's a bit more global. We don't just look at the immediate market, because as you know, Malaysian market is only so big.
Well said.
If you want to expand your business, if you want to go so-called international, there are certain adjustments, there are adaptations that you have to do as well. And our brand basically has this infusion of the European, obviously, and some Asian or local flavors as well. So in terms of fabric, there are certain ethnic influences that, because if you compare to Western or the multinational brands, they obviously have penetration all over the world. But if a local or regional brand wants to go overseas, you need to have that soundbite, or need to have some stories. The stories
Storyboard.
About your identity. Otherwise, you may not be able to compete with them. Or the them means the
big
Western
boys,
guy, the big boys.
The big boys,
because they have the procurement, they have the resources
and
to
the budget.
Yeah.
The big B word.
So the branding, the history as well.
Right.
So as we all know, the world of fashion is very competitive, and a lot of people will follow the brands. Like for example, if you think of handphones and all, the first thing comes to mind, of course, Apple, for example. So how do companies such as yourself address that kind of? I mean, you did mention having that sound bites, that stories, but it's really a massive challenge, isn't it?
Correct. It's very, very competitive. Like I said before, there's also competitors that were not here 5 or 10 years ago, which are the online portals. Okay, and they are making a huge impact as well. As you know, there is a slowdown in the economy, so that makes it even more challenging. I'm not going to talk about locally there how many brands. That is given already.
We all know that. Yeah, that's right.
But how do we adjust to having more competitors in terms of other venues, like the traditional shop is not just from a traditional shop, it's also from the internet as well, from the online portals. So in terms of branding, our strategy is not just to have one singular brand. We have more brands coming up in the pipeline. So because I think the consumers nowadays, they are more empowered. They feel that with these iPhones or the smartphones,
that's right,
with the internet, with online shopping, they can basically shop
anywhere, anytime,
on the
even
train.
in the toilet, you can shop.
But nothing beats that experience going to an actual shop,
touching
and
it,
being
feeling it, wearing it.
That doesn't mean that we are on the high cloud, so online. Well, we don't care about them. We have to adapt to a certain sense that we still have to do our own branding. We still have to make our products better, but at the same time, should we have more brands, more options?
Cater to different markets, for example.
Perceived options. They're not really real options. At the end of the day, I believe that market still, the brands still dictate the market, not the market itself.
Okay, Ivan, hold that note. We're going to take a short break right now, because right after this, we're going to delve a little bit more into their two main brands, which is Leanne Maxima and Leanne, right after this. So stay tuned on The Morning Bell.